I'm so tired of this. Women should get paid as much as men if they're athletes narrative that's happening. I'm seeing ESPN push this crap, and it amazes me that they ignore basic business or economics. let let me use me for an example. I have 1,530 subscribers, right? And I need, I don't know, probably like over 3,400 more hours to even qualify for monetization, right? Now, it's like I'm a WNBA player saying that I should get paid as much as somebody like PewDiePie when he has millions of subscribers, millions of views. He's got advertisement on his channels, and people are supporting him. For me, I got some supporters, right? People who watch my content, but it's nothing compared to PewDiePie. Should I get paid as much as PewDiePie? Hell no. Hell no. Not even close. In fact, it's even worse for the WNBA's argument when they don't bring in enough money to even um, cover the revenue to cover the turning the lights on to cover the bills it takes. They get subsidized by the NBA, so it's even worse for them. They would have to pay if the NBA didn't help them out by subsidizing them. They would have to pay. Um, they would have to pay out of their own pockets to uh, uh, have the WNBA exist. Now the WNBA, the NBA players better start speaking up. They better start speaking out against the WNBA because the way things are going, you're gonna start to see uh, more of a communist type of system where everybody gets paid the same. And what is that going to do for the sport? It's going to make it like, why would I want to work so hard? Why would I want to be the star of the team? You know, there's no incentives for me to work harder. Um, there's no incentives for me to be the star. If I'm making the same amount as the person who never plays, why would I try hard? So these people, it's nothing that I really have to worry about because I'm never going to be at that level. But it's just like the way things are going in this clown world, um, they better watch themselves, and they're gonna have to start speaking out against these women pretty shortly. You know, and if these WNBA players want to get mad, they should be mad at their own people because who primarily supports these major sports events? It's mostly men. Most and there's some women in there that's in that watch NBA or NFL or whatever, but it's mostly predominantly men who spend their money to go watch the game or for merchandise. Um, why, if there's more women in America than there is men, then why is a WNBA not profiting more than the NBA? Because they're not getting support from their own people. They should be blaming them. They should be mad at them. Like, why aren't you supporting me? Why aren't you supporting our cause? But there's probably more women who are NBA fans than there is WNBA fans. I seen this one WNBA player talking about she should get a percentage of her jersey sales. Well, how many how many jerseys do they sell besides it goes to their family? How many fans really fill the seats? They don't. So this whole notion of um they should get paid the same is just, these people are ignorant, and these institutions are just trying to push a narrative. That's all they're trying to push. They're trying to push communism. And what does communism do? It creates stagnation. It creates starvation. That's what it does. It creates authoritarianism. That's what it does. You can look at North Korea. If you want an example, if you want another example, look at Venezuela. That's where we're headed, and it's not sustainable. It is not sustainable because you need somebody else's. Um, you're stealing from other people to fund yourself, and when those people who are getting stolen from decide that they're just not going to produce anymore, like what happened in Venezuela with the price controls. If you're running a business and they're capping your prices and your bills are more than you're bringing in for revenue, you're gonna go bankrupt. There's no way you can sustain that if you can't raise your prices to cover your bills. So that's a major reason why Venezuela is in the shape it's in. Um, Government, when they intervene, they are horrible, absolutely horrible, and they just make the problem worse. This is what they want. They want problems. If there was no problems, they wouldn't have a job. So, these movements, these woke movements, are just communist movements. That's all they are. Um, uh, I'm not a big fan of capitalism. I'm saying it's better than socialism and communism and democracy. I think democracy is a system that goes to socialism, and then socialism turns into communism, and then communism turns into dictatorship. That's what happens. Um, you got you got a big group and a central leader. That's what happens. And this is why that's why I've said in my last video, people need to have more communities. Um, Instead of having these big mega churches, they need to have more like little churches. That's what they should be doing instead of having these stadium-sized churches. And what that does too is it separates. Um, like if there was a terrorist attack, right? You got everybody in one spot. What's gonna happen to all those people? Like if somebody was to do something to one of these mega churches, what happens to those 30,000 people? Whatever, how much they hold. But if you got all those people spread all over the place in small communities, they're not going to be able to do a big thing, cause a big destruction. So basically, what I want to end this on is the whole thing is just, they're just pushing a narrative of women getting paid the same. You're not, when you're in the business of um, entertainment, you rely on the eyes. You rely on people to watch you, to like you got a product. But if you're somebody like me, who not many people watch my stuff or um, listen to my music or buy my book, it's about to be books. If you're one of these people, um, you you can't expect, if you're not producing to get the eyes, you can't you can't expect it to be on that level of somebody who does. Like I can't, like I said, I can't expect to get um, paid like PewDiePie. He does way more. He entertains way more than me. Um, he, he's on a different level. Okay, like I'm like my music. I don't know who's really big right now. Let's just say Taylor Swift. She's way more talented than me. Um, obviously, or me writing a book. Like there's way more people who are better authors than me. I can't expect that I'm gonna be on their level just because I create something. Because something I create might be trash. You know, like a lot. There's been a lot of music that's been created in history, and a lot of it people just don't care about because it's just they're not into it. Maybe they don't like it. But does that mean that they should get paid as much as the people who actually get the ears and the eyes to pay attention to their stuff? No. Um, yeah, it's just dumb. It's ignorance, and it's not just ignorance. It's an agenda that they're trying to push. Um, it just doesn't work long term.